Hey everyone, I'm Brianna from BriannaLens.com, and today I am reviewing a crochet pattern. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Kids Basic Tee Crochet Pattern by Hooked on Homemade Happiness. If you are new here, hi, I crochet a lot. I have a lot of crochet experience and I like to review easy crochet patterns, and I have really challenging crochet patterns that I'm reviewing soon too. But I have a daughter who is 6 years old. I have a 10-year-old daughter as well. And I find that it is kind of difficult to find cute crochet patterns, and so I'm looking to make my kids more crochet clothes. However, I don't really know the basics of crocheting clothes yet. I know the basics of it because I've done a few of them, but I'm looking to see if there's quality crochet patterns out there, or maybe do I even make my own. There's a lot of adult crochet patterns, which is understandable because I think crochet is making a huge comeback, especially with the early 20s or even like high school age girls, and so it's really cute. They're making a ton of clothes for themselves, but I want to make some clothes for my girls because I think that's really cool. So I thought it'd be fun for other moms out there too who might be wondering, hey, could I make these clothes for my kids? Would this be a pattern I would recommend you make as a beginner or even experienced crocheter if you see it on Pinterest? So this is a that was a long intro. But this is a pattern that she has free on her website. Again, Hooked on Homemade Happiness. And I'll have that pattern linked to her website down below. Always give her credit, right? But what I did is I copied and pasted the pattern, put it in a Google Docs, and then printed it so that way I could have it. Because when you have a pattern that's written for multiple sizes, it's really beneficial to have that printed out so that way you can circle what size you need to work on for every row, so that way you don't lose track. And then if you make modifications on it, you can write on your physical pattern, and I think that's great. So I made this for my daughter Jules, who, let's see, let's backtrack. So the material she says you need are worsted weight yarn. She used yarn that she dyed herself, approximately 200 grams for sizes 2 through 8 and 300 grams for sizes 10 and 12, a 5mm crochet hook. She categorizes this as an easy level crochet pattern. All you need to know are the chain, foundation, single crochet, which I always just do a foundation, like just chain and then single crochet, and then double crochet. And so would I recommend this to a pattern? Yes. If you have never crocheted a garment, you can do this. Absolutely. This was not difficult at all. I crocheted the size 6, and this tee, she says, is a classic fit with some positive ease. Then she goes through and gives you approximate finished sizing for your chest, width, length, armhole, all that. In her picture, it's a size 8, and then she goes on to tell you that you have your basic chain, and then you work in the rounds. The whole t-shirt's worked from the neck down, and then you work it down, you do the sleeves, and then you continue down after sleeves to work all the way down the body portion, and then you're done. And that's true. So let's see, here is the front. So this is how mine looks, which I'm sure I've already shown video clips in the video. And I use this using 2 skeins of, I had a big stash of this yarn, and I used the Brava worsted weight yarn, 100% acrylic, and I made it in the color, I believe it was cherry. And I only had a little bit left. I just had a little bit left of mine. I had it in a bag and I don't know where it is. But yeah, I barely had enough for my size 6. So she says you could use this all the way to a size 8 and just 200 grams. I don't, if you were crocheting a size 8, I would just have a 3rd ball just in case. Because my size 6 that I crochet, even with my gauge, I couldn't imagine you having enough for a size 8. But if this is what the yarn looked like, but in pink, and you can get this off of Knit Picks. This is a Knit Picks thing, and this is 218 yards, 100 grams, and it's worsted weight. My daughter wanted yellow. Of course she did, but I only had one thing of yellow. So if you like this yarn, they have them in different colors. I'm no way sponsored by Knit Picks. I can only dream. But it says Knit Picks and We Crochet. I need to look into that because I'm not really sure. Sometimes like MJ's Off the Hook Designs always uses like Knit Picks yarn, but promotes We Crochet. So I need to educate myself on what that is. But this color is Snow Day Speckle, which is really pretty. And then for the teal lovers, this one is called Tidal Speckle. Really pretty. I like this yarn. I mean, like, it has a lot of tooth and stuff, but I will say I wouldn't recommend crocheting a garment out of it because this one is called Plummy Speckle. I don't know what they still have available because I bought this like 2 years ago when they first came out. This is very heavy. I wouldn't recommend you crocheting a garment out of this yarn. I think it's a great hat yarn. I've showed on one of my videos, I'll link it down below, like what am I working on. I have knit hats using this yarn, and I have crocheted a messy bun hat beanie with this yarn, and it worked really well. Not great for a garment. However, it was perfect because I was able to just go into my stash, ask my daughter like, hey, what do you want me to make you a t-shirt out of? And she chose this, which was nice because, you know, I didn't have enough yellow, but it's nice to show you a different color. And so yeah, I like the yarn, would not recommend it for a shirt. Also, this pattern, I haven't given it like a certain amount of stars. Like if you're on Goodreads, like you have to give, you know, X many stars out of 5. This one, I would recommend to a beginner. And I would recommend for a 2-year-old, I'd recommend for a 4-year-old, I'd recommend even for a 6-year-old. If you have a shapely girl for a size 8, 10, or 12, I don't know how well, like if they're starting to develop like curve lines, I don't know how flattering it would be. I think that if you have a really, I don't know, it's very basic, and I think it's really cute. I think that you could even like, I think this would be really adorable if you were to like do it. I would never say make a crop top for a child. What I am saying is if you were to do this with like a dress under it for fall, that would be really cute. I think this would be really cute if you are a farm girl, you know, or whatever, for your kids. I think it's a great thing that you could make like in a neutral color and have really aesthetic pictures that you made this for your kid on your homestead and take really aesthetic pictures that, you know what I'm saying? But overall, like, it is basic. You can do it. I would recommend it for a beginner. Get your toes wet, get your feet wet. However, the neck sizing, it could, there's a lot of things that I didn't care for it. And I'm just not sure if maybe there was a similar pattern out there. I'm looking at it in the screen. I'm not sure if there was like a similar simple basic tee pattern out there, and I don't know, but maybe she was trying to make it different enough to where it was her own. There was just some wording on it that I thought, I feel like you're trying to make that too different just for the sake of making it different. The neck came out big. I'm not a huge fan of how the pattern had me connect each row in the back. But you can definitely tell the back and the front. But because the yarn is so busy, you can't really tell. I love the sleeves. The raglan sleeves are great. But I'm not happy with the back that kind of bulges a little bit. The length is great. And again, the sleeves are great. The overall look of it's good. The fit isn't great. And I would definitely not recommend this yarn. So again, for a beginner, yes, I would recommend. Maybe this would also work well with a DK weight yarn. If you had 200 grams of a DK weight yarn, this might work out really well. Because looking at her fabric, there's a lot of drape there. And so I think if you had like a thinner merino wool or something with a little bit more drape, I think that would work really well. But like an acrylic worsted weight, no, I would not recommend, just because it's just so boxy. But yeah, I like it. I'm happy that I made it. I made it within a weekend. So in 2 days, it was so simple. And if you're a beginner, I recommend this to you to get your feet wet, to make something for a child that you know in your life. If you are not a beginner, I don't recommend this pattern. I think that there is probably other better patterns that you could choose to make and spend your time on. With that being said, my daughter wants a shirt like this, but in her size. And so I said, okay, but I'm not going to make you this shirt because I'm not going to make this pattern again. So if that tells you anything, I made this pattern once, I'm not going to repeat it. Even though it is a fast, easy make, I'm not going to repeat the pattern. So beginner, yes, highly recommend. But if you're not getting your feet wet, if you are interested in just something a little bit more cute, less basic, and with a better fit, I would go with a different pattern. And I would love to make my own pattern. So that's something that I would love to look at in the future too. So overall, I'm glad I made it. I'm glad that I used yarn in my stash. I'm glad that I tried one of the projects on my Pinterest board. If you're not following me on Pinterest, I'll link that down below too. However, I would not repeat the pattern, and I definitely would not use acrylic worsted weight yarn. And yeah, so that's about it. I have it. She can wear it. And there's that. And I got to share my review with you, so that is successful in my mind. If there is a basic children's pattern that you would like me to try, let me know down below that I might not know about. If there is a children's idea that you'd like me to know about, let me know. If there's children's patterns out there that you would like to see but aren't out there, let me know. Maybe nobody cares about children's crochet patterns, so maybe that's why there isn't much content out there. I don't know, but if I don't make content that I want to make, or content that I'm interested, then what's the point of having a YouTube channel? So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you found it helpful. And again, this pattern that I'm talking about is linked down below. Great for a beginner. Highly recommend for a beginner. So don't take what I'm saying as don't try it if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, that's where it's at. And that's not to say that you're lesser than. I'm saying this would be a great way to get your feet wet into a raglan type construction. So thank you again. I'll see you guys in the next project and in the next video. Bye.